every brother that's caught in the crossfire. That's caught in the crossfire.
Without mercy.
What is up, guys? It's Alninio here, and we got some new AP items coming in for patch 8.4. Not this patch, the one after. And there are some new changes to Luden, to Liandry, and some new items introduced. So we're going to talk about those items. And what does this mean for Katarina? Right, so as you all know, Katarina's been nerfed in patch 8.3, and a lot of people like to over-exaggerate and say, oh, well, the cat nerf, you know, I'm not going to play her anymore, whatever. Sad to say that you're wrong. She's still pretty strong, and I think the nerf was completely justified and makes complete sense. And I talk about this now because I get a lot of questions of people asking me, what do you think about the Katarina nerf? So I want to clear the air here and just say it's not that bad. As long as Gunblade's there, and Gunblade has not been touched, she's still in a good spot. The nerf was justified because her passive damage was extremely high, and she was out of control. Basically, Katarina was in a state where even if you do fall behind in the early game, you still remain relevant, and you can still burst people. So they had to take a shot at her passive damage every level, which I think completely makes sense balance-wise. And people need to calm down and relax about that, because I see a lot of people saying they want to quit Katarina now or whatever because, oh, they keep nerfing my champion, my poor champion, they keep nerfing her, I can't keep up with this. Calm down, buddy. She's fine. She's doing great. Just want to clear the air here and just say she's not that bad. Don't worry. She's in a good spot. She's always been, and she'll remain relevant even in patch 8.4 with some new items introduced, which we're going to talk about right now. So, we have this glorious new item. It is called Orb of Shadow. It is exactly like the old Haunting guys. It gives you the same AP, same health, and it gives you 15 flat magic penetration. And keep in mind, flat stats mean more early game. This item, I think, will be one of the core items for Katarina. Basically, the order of core items will definitely be like from best to worst here. I'll just say Gunblade is absolutely core. Zhonya is my second core item, well, for me. Maybe not for many people. They'll think, oh, well, I don't need a Zhonya or whatever. Some people will think like that, but I always buy Zhonya. I think it's a very important item for Cat, and most of the time I do get Zhonya. And thirdly now, I think Orb of Shadow and its recipe completion into the next item we're going to talk about is going to be the third core item for Katarina, because it seems like a decent item. It gives you flat magic pen, it gives you health. It just seems like it's gonna work on Cat. It works, I think, on manaless champions mainly. I think it's good for manaless champions, so this item is pretty good. So here is the item recipe. So it's called Morello's Cursed Home, and you keep the flat magic penetration, you get 300 health. But now, magic damage dealt to champions inflicts them with grievous wounds for 3 seconds. So remember the old Morello, how it had grievous wounds? Now this thing has grievous wounds, and it's a blasting wand recipe. I think this will be a good item on Cat, because the flat stats mean a lot more early, and it fits Katarina very well, I think, generally speaking. So what you're going to do is you're going to get Gunblade, Sork Shoes. You're not going to get Cursed Home, you're going to get the recipe, the flat magic pen, the Orb of Shadow. You're going to get that. Then you're going to get a Zhonya, then you go back to Orb of Shadow, and you complete it into a Morello Cursed Home. That's how I built my item with Haunting guys way back, but I tend to go Void Staff and not Morello. But I think this might be different now because Morello seems like it'd be very good early. Like, the reason I never completed Haunting guys into Liandry early game before is because Liandry is better off as you progress into the game because it does percentage of current HP damage. But I think Morello Cursed Home, I might consider buying it early on, like just after Zhonya or something like that. But if you really need a Void Staff, it's better to get a Void Staff if they start stacking MR. So it's very, very heavily dependent on what the enemy team has and how much MR they have, how tanky they are. So let's go towards the next item here. Okay, so there's this other new item. It's called Spellbound Orb, which is basically, it gives you the stats of the same Luden, the old Luden's Echo rather. Except the passive part of it is gone. It doesn't like give you the charges or whatever, where you get like a certain amount of charge and then you can burst someone like Luden does, right? It's different. Luden has been completely changed, by the way. Spellbound Orb, it seems like it'd be a good item, has NLR, Aether Wisp, but would it be a core item? that's debatable, right? I like the fact that it gives you decaying movement speed as an active. Same with your W. Your W on Cat gives you decaying move speed, so you can increase speed. Like if you're chasing someone and he's really low, just W, use the active, kill him with E and Q or something like that. But that's only if they're low, of course. You want to do that when they're low. You never want to throw a W if you can't guarantee a reset when you're chasing someone. But yeah, with that being said, I feel like, you know, it gives you 50 AP, it has charges, and nearby allied and enemy, you know, if they use spells, you gain more, you know, charges on the item, which ends up being at 200 at maximum. I feel like this is another one of those stack up to become strong. And I don't like that on Cat. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like that kind of thing on Cat. The same way I disagree going, what was it called again? Deathfire, not Deathfire Touch, rather. I forgot what the item, what the Keystone Room was called. Dark Harvest. There it is, Dark Harvest. You have to like build your way up to be strong or whatever. I just like pure damage. Electrocute, pure damage, done. None of that, you know, elevate and get enough charges to become strong. Yes, the item looks good on paper, right? It looks pretty good. I feel like still there are better items to go for on Cat. I don't think this is going to be one of my core items. I'll probably test it just to see how it is on 8.4. I don't think it's going to be a core item because I think there are just other better options. The new Spellbound Orb, the new Morello thing, the new Morello is pretty good. You know, gives you Grievous Wounds. Also, by the way, the Grievous Wounds on the Morello item I think is better against squishy champions like Zed, Vayne, AD carries with lifesteal. I think it'd be good against them. Of course, it's good against Maokai. It's good against, you know, tanks who heal like Mondo, whatever. But keep in mind that I think Executioner's Calling would be better against those kind of champions, but that is if you're AD. Still, I think Katarina is not a tank killer. She's never been a tank killer. That's not her speciality. She can occasionally kill tanks if she's really ahead and the tanks are behind. But that's why they nerfed Cat passive, right? Because she was a bit too out of control with her damage. Even if she was behind, she'd remain relevant. But yeah, we're kind of getting out of topic here. But that's just my point. Furthermore, Katarina's Death Lotus has Grievous Wounds already in it, so you do get some more. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they stack or not from her ulti plus the Morello, but I do believe that it works together, which would be actually pretty good with her ulti. So here we have Lost Chapter. This item you definitely don't want to get on Katarina, by the way. It gives you 10% CDR and restores maximum mana. Definitely not good for obvious reasons, I think. You don't want to get this item at all, even though it is a recipe for Luden's Echo, which might confuse some people. But I want Luden's Echo. Oh, now it's different? What happened there, right? It has Lost Chapter. It's part of Lost Chapter's recipe now. Something you absolutely don't want to build. I don't think this is a Katarina item anymore. If people thought it was before, well, it was okay before on Cat. I still wouldn't have considered it a core item because Gunblade is just far too good of a core item. I think Gunblade is the best core item on Cat. Luden, some people would go Luden and Gunblade together. And I personally have always disagreed with that initially, was because it's just Haunting Eyes is so good. It gives you flat magic penetration. Along with Sork Shoes, Luden's Echo just felt like an overkill in damage. Single target damage, rather. So I'm glad they decided to, okay, whatever, let's change it. And they made it purely for mages now, instead of like assassins. People who use mana, things like that. I think that's good for them. So I'm happy. I'm happy that they did this change to Luden. It just now gives you 10% CDR, you know, 500 mana, 80 AP, and you gain charges upon moving. So the passive is still there when you move and auto, you know, use an ability. It's gonna do that with that splash blue damage thing. That's gonna still be there. So I'm glad. I'm glad it's still remaining. Finally, we're going to talk about the Andrus Torment. Now, this was one of my favorite items on Cat because it was just, not only did it make you really beefy and healthy, it also gave a lot of damage to your ulti. Basically, this item is really good for champions who had a lot of DPS. Katarina had a lot of DPS on her ulti. For example, not this Liandry, the old Liandry. It was, for example, not the best option when I play Ahri, for example. I don't know, you're probably saying, why are you saying Ahri? Just say Ahri. Whatever. I can't help it. Ahri, okay? With Ahri, I can't go Liandry because she is a burst mage. A kite burst mage. And her focus was bursting. And Liandry does, you know, Liandry is like the type of item that requires DPS. Ahri didn't have DPS. Ahri had full burst, like EQ, WR, like all her damage was like in one go, burst damage. That was great for Ahri, but I don't think Liandry was a core item for her. But Katarina, it works on Kat because her R is DPS, damage per second is really high with her ulti, so you can go in a fight R and that damage just, it's nuts. It goes on to like 3 champions, right? That's mega huge. So now it's been changed. So while damaging champions, increase the damage you deal by 10%, max 2% per second. What that means is, okay, 1 second in a team fight, right? That'll be 2%. 2 seconds will be 4% damage. On and on and on and on until you hit 10% max. The reason I'm not gonna buy Liandry anymore is because of that reason. Because the fact that you have to stick in team fights for a long time to get the full usage of the unique passive. And Katarina is a champion that focuses on, okay, go in, kill, boom, you're dead. You're full to 0, you're gone, your health is gone. I'm not gonna wait around until I get that strength, maximum strength from Liandry. Right? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna wait around for that. There are just better other items now. And Morello, the new Morello, is definitely really good. I probably would go for Morello in place of Liandry now because Morello seems like a decent item to go for. The spellburn damage, you know, is still gonna be on Liandry. This item will be good for champions who fight extended fights. Katarina was never a champion that had extended fights. All she does is just kill. Resets. She's a reset champion. She goes in, she gets resets. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. That's it. I'm not gonna wait around in team fights or bullshit like that to become strong and wait to that 10%. But I will say this. If you're against a tank composition, if you're against Sejuani jungle, Zac top, for example, let's say Shen top, okay? Shen top, Sejuani jungle, Leona support, their jungler, you know, they have a lot of tanks, right? And you can't reach their backline. Liandry might be good here because you can deal damage through time because as Katarina you can't one-shot a tank, right? So you do need that extra time to get more damage and damage in. But by that time you might get CC down and shut down. So I'm not so sure if this would be a great item on Cat. Obviously, you want to go Merc Treads against full tank comps, by the way, because they have a lot of CC. So I'm going to go Merc Treads and maybe Liandry because, you know, it would deal more damage over time. Every second you deal 2%, 4%, 6%, 8%, 10% up to a max. I can see that being okay, but would I consider it core? Absolutely not. I think it's heavy situational at best. So yeah, I would definitely suggest Andrus Torment against different types of comps. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully this little items explanation for 8.4 has helped you decide if Katarina is good or not in 8.4. I think she's still going to be good, to be honest, and hopefully these items will help you understand them a bit better. Hopefully the way I, you know, talked about them helps you understand them better. What's good, what's bad. Is Cat still good with those items? And the answer is yes, she is very good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the Rift. Peace out. Oh, probably highlight. Am I streaming, by the way? Oh, fuck, I'm streaming. I thought I'm locally recording. Oops. Oops. Shit. Alright, let's just finish this video anyway. I can't believe I was streaming that. Oh my god. I thought I was fucking recording. I accidentally clicked the wrong button. Is the chat talking now? I'm sorry, chat. God damn it, dude. Oh my god. Alright, this was supposed to be a fucking YouTube video. God damn it. Whatever, dude. Alright, we're done with the video now. I just realized it says stop streaming. I'm like, what? I didn't even start the fucking stream. Oh, whatever. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, you guys watching the stream. I will be streaming after I put this video up. So don't worry. It's not like, oh, I'm gone now, I'm not gonna come back. I'm gonna come back, but I gotta put this video out. So I'll be right back when I do.